Ow. Hey guys, for today's video, wouldn't you know it, it's about flock cameras again. And it's about all these people that are abusing them. But by people, I mean police of various levels and all that are just nonstop abusing this system for whatever reason they seem fit. And why is it happening? Because the temptation is too great with this technology. And we have people that do not have integrity and should not be in this sort of job. And it happens on all levels. And we're just going to talk about a few of the things right now. So this one here, we'll hop over to this one here in a minute. But let's go to this one. This one happened in Florida. This was a deputy working down the Keys who was apparently running security for an Apple Bad Monkey on Apple TV, some show, and some chicks, some extras are brought in, and he got, well, one of the extras caught his attention, and apparently they were flirting, all this stuff, and he claims that they exchanged cell numbers and all that, even though the woman told him she had a boyfriend, whatever, who knows, I don't know what the deal is. So he tried to, after that was all done, he went and he searched her on Instagram, because apparently that's the way you communicate with people nowadays. Is he searched her on Instagram, he messaged her on Instagram. She never responded, and he didn't take the hint, because I'm sure that phone number that he gave her or she gave him was completely fake anyways. But so what does this guy do? Well, he's a cop, so he has access to all of the this technology that shouldn't exist, that is ripe for abuse. And what did he do with it? He abused it. He went and entered her name in Florida's driver and vehicle information database, as is known as David, as well as the Florida Crime Information Center and National Crime Information Center, to find her license plate information. So he used that identity lookup source to get her license plate info, and then he went and he took the license plate the license plate info and added it to a hot list. You know, a Bolo would be on the lookout for this sort of vehicle. The same stuff that they add in nationwide that gets the flock cameras to send out a notification every single time one of those hot list plates drives past the flock camera. So he entered that in. At that point, the woman's plate would come across any license plate reader, then this guy would be alerted to his location. And on February 19th, a license plate reader scanned her plate. So his reaction was caught on dash cam, is on 404 media. Jesus Christ. If you want to go over there, you can watch it. I tried watching it. There's really no audio of the encounter because he purposely turned off all of his shit. We'll get to that point. But he got the ping, so he went and started to chase down wherever she was. He went over 70 on Florida's US 1. I don't know what the speed limit is of that road. 70 isn't all that fast. If it's like an interstate, maybe 70. US 1 is like a small through town road or something. I don't know. But he was passing vehicles, and he almost ran head on into a truck as he was attempted to catch her and pull her over. And she said that she observed the patrol car cut off the truck behind her, and she had a feeling that it was him, the guy that won't stop stalking her. So here we go. Yet another example of these cameras being used to stalk. So, all because this guy saw a hot chick. He violated her Fourth Amendment right to look up all her information, monitor where she is going, and illegally search databases to find her and her information. All of these are a violation of the Fourth Amendment and abuse of all this technology. So his in-car camera was said to not have captured audio of the stop because it had no microphone, nor did he have a body camera, and he did not log the stop into the system. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew everything he was doing was illegal, was against policies, was an abuse of the system, yet he proceeded to do it anyways. Follow, blah, blah, blah. He hoped that, I told you I'd find you and pull you over, to which he followed that he had hoped her boyfriend would be in the car so he could give him a hard time. This guy, who was hired to protect and serve, was only thinking with his dick and decided that he wanted to go and harass this woman, abuse all this technology, and then start a confrontation with the boyfriend that that chick may or may not have. Probably doesn't. She probably just told him that to try and say, get away from me, friggin' creeper. All right. He knew what he did was wrong. He said he admitted it was stupid, and he said, I mean, it's a tough month, and I saw a shiny thing and teasing all that, and I knew that when I put that in, I'm like, fuck. And that's why I just stopped right after and nothing else. Yeah, sure. No, so he did all this. For whatever reason, this woman decided to not press charges against this guy. Why would you not press charges against it? The abuse of these systems need to be taken to full extent of the law in every single way. And at the end of this, I'm going to up it up to what I think it should be done. Not just what it currently is. But he was let go from his Florida Keys post, as well as arrested and charged with abuse of computer access to an electronic device without authority, a third-degree felony. As of July 1st, he was discharged of his $50,000 bond as part of his pretrial. There's no future court date listed at the moment for Roman as of this writing. So what's probably going to happen is this guy will get off with a slap on the wrist. He'll go change states or counties and get hired on as to another policing job, because this is what happens. They get people that abuse the system. They get a slap on the wrist or whatever. They're let go of one position, then go to another place over, a few counties over, and get a job doing the same thing, same level of abuse, all because like they can't get enough people to do these jobs that want to be cops, because we're now getting to the point to where being a cop is now attracting all of the bad people in society, same as being politicians. Now, let's go over this one. Georgia cops keep getting arrested and fired for illegally using flock cameras to stalk people, but surely those 17 bad apples aren't representative of the entire bunch. All right. Another Georgia cop accused of misusing flock data in a growing trend, according to USA Today headline, blah, 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 blah. Okay. CBS News meant a second Georgia officer had been arrested for misusing flock license plate data to stalk their victims. There couldn't be that many bad cops getting arrested in one state, right? Well, that depends on whether your definition of not that many, because USA Today reports that at least 17 Georgia cops have been accused of flock stalking in just the last couple of months. So this is added to what I did in my very original video that got me going down this whole rabbit hole of flock cameras and mass surveillance and stuff and constitutional abuses. There was already like 18 to 20 reported issues in Minnesota. So that's one state. Now we're hearing to another. We're two states down, Minnesota, and then we just looked at Florida. Now we're just looking at Georgia, and this is happening every single place that these cameras and this technology exists. Is guaranteed that this sort of thing is happening. Having the ability to access this technology is too much of a temptation for these people. They cannot control themselves. This should not exist, period, because all it is going to do is be abused. I just saw the other day some video of some random ass cop doing like a press conference, like almost looks like a hostage video, talking about, oh, well, we discovered one person in our department using this, and rest assured that blah, 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 it's not all, blah, 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 blah. It's the same sort of cover your ass spiel that they're all having to do now, because the world is seeing that all of these people are abusing this power in this system. And they are trying their best to cover their asses and make everyone think that, oh no, don't worry, it was just one or two bad people. All of us are not that bad. No, you are tarnishing your ability. The trust in policing and stuff is already at an all-time low just because of the way they handle certain people get handled, or how they don't handle people in other instances, and two-tiered policing and all these. Sometimes some states will let you arrest people for certain crimes. Other states like California will just, instead of saying, hey, instead of stopping crime, we're just going to raise the threshold for what constitutes as a crime, right? So cops are caught in the in-between. They either can or they can't do their job, and they either do or they do not abuse the systems that they have. But there's no like middle ground in between that. It's either one side or the other. And now is becoming more and more and more prevalent. And people are wanting to say, well, why are people pushing it back against flock cameras? This is a government psyop. James Lee, you moron. No, it's not. Here's the evidence. This is exactly what is happening. This is what's getting people pissed off. And understand, it is not just flock cameras that are being used for this. There are other cameras that are being used for this, like Axon. They make these things as well. Axon is also the ones that do the body cams and stuff that cops wear. I got a video coming up here this next Friday that you're going to want to watch, where I discovered Axon tying into a new company that then is also tying into a whole other different grift, but is still being pushed by the same people, all for making money. You're going to want to see that one because it is insane how these things tie in. But that comes out on next Friday. So, former Sergeant Kabaru Salawu, all right, lost a job he'd held in the Cobb County Sheriff's Office since 2009 after he was arrested over allegations that he engaged in unauthorized use of the agency's flock safety technology. Salawu currently faces a felony charge for violating his oath of office, but in Georgia, misuse of license plate data is charged as a misdemeanor. For now, the Sheriff's Office hasn't released any information on how it caught Salawu, nor have they explained what he's accused of using flock systems to do. Why not? Why aren't you releasing the information? Say exactly what happened. Let everyone know exactly how this guy abused his position. I mean, sergeant, it's a sergeant. I don't know the levels of the ranks offhand. Like you start deputy, then does it go sergeant next, and then lieutenant and chief and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But this guy isn't just a standard beat cop, okay? He's been doing this almost 20 years, held this position for almost 20 years. And he's still abusing the system, all right? He's not new. He's a veteran at this point in time. According to CBC News, Salawy's arrest brings the total number of law enforcement officers accused of abusing their access to the private surveillance system. Remember, Flock is a private company that contracts with these agencies in an effort to bypass your constitutional rights. Everything that Flock does, every time these databases are scanned, every single time it is a Fourth Amendment violation, and there needs to be a warrant that is issued by a judge that is highly specific for what it is being used for and for whom. Every single time that any law enforcement accesses any of this data without that, it is a violation of your Fourth Amendment. And it should not be tolerated in any way. No excuses should be made for these people. Okay? Private security system that tracks everyone, everywhere, all the time, even if you do not drive a car or have a license plate visible. And that brings the number to 10 in recent weeks. Now, I was talking about if you don't drive a car or have a license plate visible, this is in regards to Leonardo and Signal Trace. I have made a video on that. If you don't know what that is, go check out my video. But in short, it is a sniffer that picks up every single over-the-air data that can possibly be sent out from anything that passes by it, and it also integrates into license plate readers. Go watch that video of mine to get a full rundown of what that is. Not much of years, weeks as internal audits continue. Don't be surprised to see those numbers rise in the coming weeks either. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire, and if internal audits turned up enough evidence to charge 17 officers over the last several months, it stands to reason ongoing investigations will turn up evidence of even more abuses within Georgia law enforcement community. Yes, and this is not just Georgia, okay? This is every single place that has access to this sort of technology. Just seeing these cameras in the Lowe's parking lot is what got me started. I guarantee you that those people, somebody in Lowe's, somebody in Home Depot, somebody in Walmart, and whatever other companies have access to this stuff, they are going and just looking and searching those databases themselves. They are going and saying, oh, look, I see a person I'm attracted to right here in the store. Let me look at where they're going into the parking lot. Oh, look, there's their card. There's their license plate number. Now I can go to the DMV, or I can go do whatever, or I can search, access the same database that everyone else has access to because it's not encrypted and the login credentials are readily available on the internet. I can look into that database and I can find out exactly who this person is and where they live. Every single agency or business or whatever that has access to this technology, somebody in that agency or business or whatever is going to abuse this technology. It is an indisputable fact. It is, you cannot stop it. It will happen. People are people and they will always abuse things. Bad apple after bad apple. In addition to DeKalb arresting Salawu, Georgia's WRDW represents the Fayetteville Police Department, fired 3 officers last week for an audit revealed that the officers had conducted searches outside their scope of work, including looking for their own place or those of family and friends. Whether the officers involved limited their unauthorized searches to only friends and family, the department hasn't said, but it is reportedly requested that the Georgia Bureau of Investigation investigate the alleged abuse. And again, it doesn't matter. Even if you're looking up family and friends, you need a warrant to do so. You need a warrant. Not having a warrant is a breach, an abuse of the system, and a breach of the United States Constitution. This needs to stop. While Fayetteville police are still withholding the names of the fired officers, CBS News reports that Albany Police Department fired 5 officers caught abusing their flock access earlier in July. Now, former police officers Tatiana Davis, Jay Jackson, Nicholas Richardson, Brittany Smith, and Isaac Wittes all face charges. Additionally, 11 Alive reports that over in Cherokee County, the Sheriff's Office fired and arrested Lieutenant Chris Bryant and Sergeant Mike Creedon for abusing the flock system late last month. The announcement also came 10 days after the same department fired and arrested Deputy Cynthia Jodesty on similar charges. Every single place it will be abused. And all of these names right here, not counting the guy we talked about in the first thing, all of these names, all of this is just from Georgia. Just from Georgia. And this isn't even anywhere close to the amount of people that are abusing the system. I guarantee it. These are just the ones that have been caught so far. Just the ones that have been caught. Like Salawu, many of those fired and charged with abusing their flock access in recent months were veteran law enforcement officers with years of experience, not rookies still learning the ropes. Exactly. It doesn't matter how long you've been there. The temptation is too great, and people don't have integrity, and they abuse what they have access to. They just do. The good news is bad apples notoriously don't spoil a whole bunch. So if you live in Georgia, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. There's no way that the 17 officers accused of illegally using their department's flock system in recent months, 20 in the last year according to Land News First, could possibly be indicative of a larger problem with Georgia law enforcement or cops in general. Flock exists to keep us safe, and we can definitely trust all the people still supporting and using the all-powerful surveillance technology. Obviously, this is all very facetious. But yes, because it exists, it will be abused. It always is. Every single time. Anything that exists will in some way be abused by someone. When technology is this powerful, the abuse is even more rampant and even more extreme. This is a bad thing. We are living in Minority Report dystopian hell. God damn it, stop sending me notifications. This has to stop. Now, this is just the cops that were caught so far. Just the cops. This isn't even counting the flock employees themselves. That I shared this in my follow-up video I made about fighting the surveillance state while driving. In Dunwoody, Georgia, flock employees were caught logging into cameras because flock has the flock cameras, the Raven, which monitors for sounds, their drones, their bullshit, and then they have this thing called Flock Wing. Flock Wing, it is a system that integrates with already existing surveillance cameras that turns them into AI-powered cameras and to which you can live stream, okay? Through Flock Ring, the flock employees were watching children in gymnastic gyms and swimming pools over 1,000 times. Flock employees, not even flock employees or parents are checking on their kids, just random flock employees, friggin' pedos, were watching children. Why? Because they have access and the ability. This needs to stop. It is out of control. Now, like I said earlier, I think will happen will make this stop it is to actually not just punish people to the full extent of the law. We need to make it so that if you are abusing any of these technologies until they are all gone, if you abuse them, if you're caught abusing them, using them in any way other than what they're exactly used for or be used without a warrant or anything, automatic life in prison, no possibility of parole. with a big ass sign on your prison outfit that says, "I'm a cop." That's what needs to happen. That will fix this shit in a hurry, because at that point in time, there are consequences for these people. Right now, there are no consequences. There are no guardrails. There are no safety stops. People are getting away with technological murder, for lack of a better term here. The only way to stop it is to make the consequences for the abuse so extreme, people get terrified of it. There's this whole thing is like, oh no, having cameras makes everything safer. No, it doesn't. It does not. Cameras don't do anything. All it is doing is giving people more of an opportunity to abuse the system. There is no disincentive for them to not abuse the system. We have to make the punishment so terrifyingly extreme that people will get a hint. They'll take the hint and they will wake up and stop doing this. But all right, that's all I got for today. That was just a little update again on some flock camera stuff. There will be a lot more of this coming. No, it is not a psyop. Shut up about it being a psyop. Just understand that the reason people are pissed off is because of this stuff. Like I said, tune into my One Camera Friday so you can see what I found of how this technology is integrating with something that makes absolutely no sense on paper unless that paper is money. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Let me know what you think in the comments, and like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.